Hello and welcome live from Russia. I'm not in Russia. How can I be in Russia? I was just on a United stand stream. But we are here for the World Cup preview. I've been really looking forward to this. Look, to be honest with you, I'm very excited about the World Cup. I'm not going to lie about that. I think it's going to be a cracker. I really do think it's going to be a cracking World Cup. And I'm looking forward to it, as I've said. And this is going to be our World Cup preview. Interactive style, as it always is with me. We're going to go through the groups, going to predict who is going to win it, and we'll also be doing a little bit of this. No, that's not what I want to do. What do I want to do? I want to do a little bit of this. We'll be opening it up, and that's not what I want to do either. Let me get this working. Here we go. That's not the one. You cheeky beggar. I can get it to work. That's the one. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's that way. We'll open it up and do the World Cup predictor and everything like that. So, bit of a slow start there, but we're up and running, and that's what matters. Turn that off for the moment. Anyway, live TV, ruining my preview. Anyway, drop a like on the video, get interactive with it, and let's get on with it. This is going to be the World Cup preview. Who's going to win the World Cup? As the title says, Manchester United players will shine, and I do think United players are going to do well. Lingard, hopefully Rashford, who's picked up a bit of a knock, they said today, but I think he'll be fine. And also Lukaku. I think Lukaku and Harry Kane have got a great opportunity to win the Golden Boot if Belgium and England go far because of the group, Panama and Tunisia. But let's start off with Group A. It will be kicked off in Russia with... I need to get that off. There we go. It'll be kicked off with Russia against Saudi Arabia on Thursday. Also in that group is Egypt and Uruguay. And I think Russia are poor. They've been playing 2 years of friendlies. Not a very good team. Don't think they'll get through. Saudi Arabia, again, with all due respect, not one of the great teams in the world of football. So Saudi Arabia, I don't think are going to get through. So we'll cross them out. Definitely Uruguay will go through, and Egypt, or I think Egypt will go through and Russia will go out. Let's be ruthless with that. And also, let's change the colour of the pen because people can't see it with the green. I think we'll go yellow. Trusty old yellow. So you're out, and you're out. And they're through. And Group B, we've got Portugal, Spain, Morocco and Iran, and that is an interesting group because you'd say Portugal and Spain, but they play each other on Friday night to start off with. You'd say that Morocco and Iran are going to be the teams that struggle, but I remember in the last World Cup, it was a 93rd minute goal by Messi that beat Iran 1-0, and Morocco aren't a bad side. They aren't a bad side at all. So I think that... Daniel Anthony, thank you. Yeah, do get your predictions and your comments in below as well. A lot of people agreeing with me with Uruguay and Egypt, so I don't think that's going to be contentious. Although Saif says it will be Uruguay and Russia. If you think Russia, that's fine. Brevy Boy says Egypt will do nothing. And Mark, sorry I missed the live show of the United Stand, says Kenneth, that's fine. You can always go back and watch it. And in America, 99% of people don't watch the World Cups easy. Is that because you didn't qualify? Serious question, I don't know. But yeah, good side Morocco. I wouldn't be surprised in this group straight away if there is a shock. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. But I am going to say Morocco out and Iran out, with Spain in first and Portugal second, which will become clear in a minute as to why I've marked those, because it's relevant for the group stage. Group C, France, Austria. Does anybody think Russia and Uruguay are my choices for Group A? Says Matthew McFeddy, and I'm wondering whether I've got that wrong with Russia. We'll wait and see, but I think Egypt will go through. Russia, obviously, as their hosts, may be quite good. France, Australia, Peru, and Denmark. I'm going to shock people with this. I'm going to shock you with this one. I'm going to straight away knock Australia out. That's not a shock. And I'm also going to knock Denmark out. I think Peru and France will go through 1-2. France with 1. So, yeah, I think Peru are a better team than people give credit for. And wasn't it their striker who's been reinstated? So, Peru are one of those exciting teams, and I want to sort of, as we go through the group stage, I'm going to tick off some of the teams that I'm really excited about. Almost teams that I'm supporting after England. I want somebody to win it who has never won it before. I really do. That would make the World Cup for me. It would rejuvenate my love of international football, which has sort of gone a little bit recently. So I want somebody to win it who's never won it before. Peru will not win the World Cup, but I've got a funny feeling that they will get out the group. Charlie Collins says France and Denmark for me. Peru are good, says Safe Gulston. Denmark has got Eriksson, Lee Casson. They have, but they don't have a lot much more else. Good English there. Danes are dangerous, says Ben Johnson. Mark, who do you have down for the Golden Boot? We'll talk about that in a bit, Daniel Rubles. But considering the... I don't... Yeah, I think Lukaku and Kane have got a good chance depending on how far they go. Yeah, so definitely I'm going to go with France and Peru from that group. Into Group D, we've got Argentina, Iceland, Croatia and Nigeria. This is an interesting group. It's not so easy to pick out because everyone will say Argentina, but Argentina only just qualified for the World Cup. They took it right to the wire. Iceland have been, for such a small nation, they were very impressive in the Euros and they've then qualified for the World Cup. So it's clearly not a fluke. They're a well-organised team with such a low population. You've got to take them seriously. Croatia have got so many good players. Kovacic, Matic, Mandzukic, so many good players in that side. And Nigeria, well, yeah, I think African nations have sort of, after the initial highs of the Cameroon in the 80s and the 90 and Nigeria in 94, they've maybe not hit those heights. But Nigeria, they're not the best African team at the World Cup as far as I'm concerned, but I think that they could cause a few issues. So that group becomes very, very good. Retard reps, I'm not sad. I don't know what you're on about. I'm probably a little bit tired from all the driving I've done today, but I'm not tad. No, I'm not tired. Argentina and Iceland, says Charlie Collins, but MUFC Madness says Argentina and Croatia. Daniel Anthony says Croatia and Nigeria, and I'm loving Croatia and Nigeria, says Christopher White. Argentina and Croatia, says Flipper. You're not helping me much in my decision here. Matic isn't Croatian. No, he's not MUFC Madness. I didn't say Matic, so I don't know who said that. So you're not helping me with this one. This is a difficult group, but I'm going to go with... I am going to go Argentina. I'm going to knock Iceland out, but this is by no means definite. Croatia, I'm going to knock Nigeria out, but I think this is such a hard group to pick that yeah, I may get that wrong. I may get that wrong. Argentina, says Chase Pickering. Hill Dill says Belgium, Brazil. Maybe he's talking about the final because they're not in it. But yeah, so in our first four groups, I've got Egypt and Uruguay through, Spain and Portugal through, France and Peru through, and Argentina and Croatia through. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. So we're going to move on to the next group stage, but I need to do a little bit of work. Here. There we go. So we move on to the next groups, which is groups E to H. Group E is Brazil and Switzerland and... I can't read it. Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia and Costa Rica. I was trying to figure out who those flags were there. Geography not very good. So, Brazil obviously are going to go through. I think Switzerland are clearly going to go out. This is quite an easy group for me. Costa Rica out, Switzerland out. Brazil and Serbia through. Serbia have got a good team and Brazil would be a major shock if they didn't go through. And Devil's Ace agrees with me there. A lot of people saying Brazil and Serbia. There we go. Brazil nuts are lovely, Elliot. I like them too. Group F, Germany, Mexico, Sweden, Japan. Again, this is a group that I like. I'm really looking forward to watching this group. Mexico are one of those teams I would love to see win the World Cup. I think it'd be very difficult for them, but I'd certainly expect them to get out the group. Germany, obviously, are going to be hot favourites. Japan do very, very well obviously in the Asian sector because that's where they are for their qualifiers, but they're very, very consistent there. And I just wonder whether Japan at some point, I know they did quite well when they hosted the World Cup, but I just think at some point they're going to hit a big result. And Sweden are not a good team. So Sweden are definitely going to go out for me. No Zlatan, and they're just not a very good team, Sweden. And yeah, I am going to put Japan out, sorry. So good group to watch. Could be a shock there, but I'm going to go Germany and Mexico, as Jack has as well. And Group G, we've got, this is the group of England, Belgium, Tunisia, Panama, England. Now, Tunisia are better than people think, but Panama are rubbish. Panama are going out. How, if we've got Americans watching, you let Panama qualify is beyond ridiculous. But fair play. It's a qualifying process and you deserve to be there. But realistically, America, hang your heads. You really should be, hang your heads in shame. You should be very disappointed, which I'm sure you are. But Panama, not a good team. I think they've got a couple of injuries to two of their better midfielders. I think their front line's quite old. They're going to park the bus. They're going to park the bus, aren't they? So, yeah, Belgium and England. Tunisia aren't bad. England could mess up. Belgium definitely will go through. Belgium and England, because I'm English, I've got to stick with England. But Tunisia, that first game for England, England have got to get off to a good start. And Pip says England and Tunisia. Jay says Belgium and Tunisia. Karen says Belgium and Tunisia. So interesting. I think the more important, who's going to top the group, I suppose, Belgium or England. There's a lot of goals in this game. There's a lot of goals in this group if England can break Panama down. And I think Romelu Lukaku is my tip for the Golden Boot. I think Belgium will go to the latter stages. Harry Kane could do it, but I think Belgium will have less pressure. So I think Belgium and England. I think it will come down to goal difference who goes through there. I think England and Belgium will play out a draw in the third game, but I think Belgium will have better goal difference. So we'll see how it goes in the group stage in a minute. And then the final group is a great group. This is a really, really good group. So I've made a mistake. I mentioned Japan in Group F. It's South Korea in Group F. Again, I've messed up on geography. I just saw it and thought Japan. So it still doesn't change my mind. South Korea will go out with Sweden, so that's fine. It's still going to be Germany and Mexico. But I can't believe it's Korea, not Japan, says Aaron. You're right. So this group's very interesting. Poland, Senegal, Colombia and Japan. Now, Senegal and Colombia are two clubs that I would love to see win the World Cup. And I think they have the potential to do it as real outsiders. Colombia, with James Rodriguez and Cuadrado and some of the players they've got, they're a good side. Senegal, again, Mane, Idrissa Gueye, they've got a really good physical flair team, and I think Senegal could do well. Poland, obviously, they're a good side. Lewandowski, a few others. I'm not going to bother naming because I can't think of any. I can, but you get what I mean. And Japan, they've gone from Group F to Group H. Good team. Japan do very well in their area, but I'm going to cross Japan out. I think they're out, and then I think it's going to be very interesting to see who goes through out of those three. My head says Poland and Colombia, but my heart says Senegal and Colombia. So I'm going to go with my heart on this one and say Poland go out, Senegal and Colombia through. Senegal were great in 2002 and Robert, bit late. England getting beat on penalties to Germany would make my day. Oh, we've got the anti-English crowd in, look. Senegal will get to the quarterfinals, says Dot J. Colombia and Japan, says Gazel Cesar. Poland always bottle it, says Zahag. Yeah, so we're going to get to the knockout stage now. But what I want to just, before we go to the knockout stage, what I want to know is, who's your tip for Golden Boot? We'll cover that first, because that's a good little topic that we can cover there. As I said, I think mine's Lukaku, because I think there's a lot of goals that can be scored in that for them. And Panama, etc. I'm looking around at other people that might score goals in it. I suppose it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to think about it because yeah, I'm going to go Lukaku. I am going to go Lukaku. I think that's what I'm going to go. Lukaku or Neymar, says Mike D. Yeah, Neymar's not a bad shout. I've shocked Kieran Brook because I've said Poland out. Neymar will walk it. Switzerland will concede goals. Costa Rica will concede goals as well. Neymar's not a bad shout, to be fair. Maybe another Brazilian. I don't know. Maybe Firmino or Jesus would be a good shout. Griezmann, says Chen. I don't know. I don't know about France. I think France are going to, under Deschamps, they're not really that free scoring when it gets to tournaments. Diego Costa, says MUFC Madness. Timo Werner, Surly Devil Red 7. Yeah, another good shout. Poland are going to do well, says Matthew McFadyen. Willian, says Harry Lancaster. Scott McTominay, said Edward. Yeah, he's going to do really well. Rashford won't even start, Ray, I'm afraid. Lingard for Golden Boot. Never bet on an England person to get Golden Boot because England traditionally don't score that many goals in tournaments. The last one was probably Lineker 86 in the World Cups. So no, I wouldn't be betting on England. Anyway, I'm going to open this up and we can go to the open. I need to make it a little bit smaller so I can fit it in. You're not going to be able to see my face for a moment, which is a bit of a shame. Unless I make it a little bit smaller. Which is probably advisable. As long as people can see it. Move me over there. So, let's do the predictor then. That's how we think it's going to go. Move that up a bit there. Right, so actually I need it bigger. I should have done this live. I shouldn't have done this live, should I? So, Group A. First in Group A will play second in Group B. So first in Group A for me is Uruguay. So Uruguay will go to there. And second from Group B will be Portugal. There. I will say Uruguay versus Portugal. Portugal to there. And Uruguay go out. Moving over to here. First in Group E will play second in Group F. Well, that's Brazil. And second in Group F will be Mexico. And that's where I think we'll say goodbye, Mexico. And I'm sad about that, but yeah, goodbye to them. Let's go to first in Group C. We'll play second in Group D. So first in Group C will be France. And second in Group D will be Croatia. That's a tough one. I would say, let's go France. But Croatia could beat them. And then over to here, we've got the first in Group G against the second in Group H. Well, second in Group H, I think, will be Senegal. And first in Group G, I think, will be Belgium. And I think Belgium will beat Senegal. First in Group B will be Spain. Getting a few things, it's getting a bit confusing now. Will be second in Group A, which will be, I said, Egypt. And Spain will win that. First in Group F is going to be Germany. And second in Group E is going to be Serbia. And I tell you what, I'm going to say Serbia will knock Germany out. Controversial, I know, but I am going to go Serbia to knock them out. And first in Group D will be Argentina, and they will play second in Group C, which I think I said was going to be Peru. Argentina versus Peru. I'm going to give you another shock. Peru. So, and then finally, England were second in Group G, and they will play Colombia, and England will be beaten by Colombia. So then you'd have Colombia versus Serbia in the semi-final, and Colombia will win that. Then we'd have Peru versus Spain. Spain will win that. So Spain-Colombia semi-final on one side, and that would be Spain into the final for one spot. And then on this side, we've got Portugal versus France in the quarterfinals, and Portugal will win that. And then we've got Brazil versus Belgium. Brazil will win that. So Brazil, Portugal. Brazil, Spain final. Brazil win the World Cup. Brazil will win the World Cup. There you go. You've heard it here first. Brazil are going to win the World Cup. Let me get rid of that. Brazil will win the World Cup. Brazil are going to win the World Cup. Let's have a look what people say. Don't underestimate Colombia, says Douglas James. Well, it's all subjective on what you think's going to happen, but I think Brazil are going to win the World Cup. This is as confusing as our defence. Look, I did it with the yellow pen. It probably you had to listen, but effectively, I think we ended up with Portugal-Brazil semi-final and Spain-Colombia semi-final. So I knocked Germany out with Serbia, and Peru knocked somebody good out as well. But yeah, Brazil will win the World Cup against Spain in the final, and I had a Colombia-Spain semi-final and a Portugal-Brazil semi-final. But obviously, a lot of that depends on whether Germany get knocked out. Thoughts on Griezmann? I've already spoken about him on the United Stand Dark Destruction. I think he's very arrogant to be talking about himself right before the start of a World Cup. Stick your house on it, says Tom Charlton. Hey, look, it's just my opinion. If you want to tell me who's going to win the World Cup, but it's not as easy as just pluck. That's the first time I've ran through it as well. I purposely didn't bother doing it before because that would be unfair on you, wouldn't it? You know, it's unfair to do that. I wanted to run it through, but the thing is, people will say, "Well, you know what? It might not go like that. It might go like that. It might not go like that." But the reality is, you could easily pick out, "Well, Germany's going to win the World Cup," but until you actually look at what those games are going to be, it's you know, some people have got an easier run through, like England and Belgium. They're probably going to play Colombia or Senegal or Poland or Japan. That's what they are going to play. Whereas Serbia could finish second in their group to Brazil and not lose a game, and then have to play Germany in the first knockout stage. So some people are going to get it harder than others. Martin Jacobson, I really don't fancy France or Belgium to do that much. I really don't. Argentina over Portugal, says Luis Garcia. I think Argentina could get knocked out by Peru if they get through the group, because I think Argentina, if they play a South American team, will struggle because they struggled in the qualifiers. And Russia to win it, says Ed Woodward. Yeah, no chance. And be a laugh if Peru do beat the Argies. I'll never forget Mark saying that, says Albert Trotter. Serbia are interesting, Kieran Byrne. Look, I think it's great that everyone in the live comments is sort of telling me that I'm wrong because I've gone for some of the underdogs in this tournament predictor. But this is what I'm expecting from this World Cup. I think the status quo of, it's going to be Brazil, Germany, Spain, you might be right. But I'm hoping and expecting from this World Cup that some of those underdogs are going to close the gap. And it's a prediction, isn't it? It's whether that gap can be closed enough to knock some of these top dogs off their perch. And I predict that one or two of them will do. And Serbia against Germany, they could beat them. Peru against Argentina, they can beat them. So that's my prediction. I'm still saying that Brazil will come out on top, and Brazil versus Spain final probably isn't a massive shock. But what will happen along the way, I think we could get some really, really great stories. Alois Nagari says Argentina or France to win. Belgium will win, says this. I think Belgium and France have got great teams, squads, but they've got awful managers, and you need leadership. Panama versus Saudi Arabia in the final, says Jay. That would be stunning. Absolutely stunning. Remember, you're watching this predictor on this World Cup preview on the Mark Goldbridge channel. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Bottom right-hand corner. And also, I want to draw your attention to the Super Brew link in the video description, which I haven't actually put there yet, but I will do. It's our World Cup predictor. So make sure you have a go at that. It's free to play. We've got a United Stand League. Give it a go. But get in the comments if you're not watching live or you have watched live, come back and give us your thoughts based on what the actual group stage and the way you'll play each other when you go through the group stage. Don't just pick out Spain without actually researching what they've got to do to get there and who they might play, because that's it. Edward Wood says Germany back-to-back World Cups. I think Germany are interesting, but I don't think Germany are that strong at the back anymore. I think they've got a decent midfield and they've got some very good attacking talent. But I think Germany, this might be a World Cup too far for them. They've lost a little bit of leadership. They haven't got Lahm anymore in the squad. They haven't got Schweinsteiger in the squad anymore. Everybody's getting a little bit older. Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll comfortably walk it. But I think Germany, for me, it's not going to be them. Looking at the way we've ran through it there, I've been saying Brazil for a long time, and I class Brazil as a little bit of underdogs. You know, they got hammered in their own World Cup by Germany 4 years ago. A lot of people will put Brazil as favourites just because of their name, but actually the journey they've been on, they shouldn't be a favourite. But I think it could be. But Neymar needs to stay fit. If Neymar gets injured, Brazil fall apart. And also, only one South American team has ever won the World Cup in Europe, and that was Brazil in '58. So it's a long, long, long time. Alan Barney, if England won the World Cup, it would be absolutely fantastic. This is one of the worst England squads there's been in a long time, but in some ways, I think that sort of galvanised them. So it's very interesting to see what England can do. Chances are, if you threw a coin in the air, they'd probably perform poorly as per usual. But reality, I think they'll get out the group stage, and then England in the group stage, if it goes to penalties, they're out. But in the group stage, you just never know. And they will play, like I say, they'll have to play a Colombia, Poland, Senegal or Japan. And all of those could cause England problems, but you'd hope that they would win. Apparently Umtiti's been injured for France, as Anthony Martial. I'd heard Mbappe had a bit of an injury, but Sidibe injured as well. There's always going to be players who drop out. There's always going to be people who drop out. I really hope one of the African teams gets to at least a quarter-final. That would be amazing. Again, I'd like to see Mexico do quite well. They could be playing Brazil in the next round. I mean, if anything goes wrong in that is interesting, because the Brazil-Mexico group and the Serbia-Germany group, they play each other. And if there's any slip-ups there, you could see Brazil versus Germany in the first knockout stage, which would be amazing. But it probably looks like it will be Brazil, Mexico, Germany, Serbia. But again, if that went wrong, Brazil probably will beat Mexico, but I wouldn't surprise me if Mexico beat them. Germany probably will beat Serbia, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm very excited about this World Cup. I can't wait for it to start. Remember, we are going to be doing World Cup watch-alongs on our That's Football channel. I'll be starting that off on Thursday. So if you are planning on watching all the games, make sure you get yourself on That's Football. I hope you've enjoyed the predictor in true Goldbridge fashion. A little bit haphazard, but we got there in the end. Live content for you. Thanks to the yellow pen. Thanks to everyone who's watched live. Thanks to everyone who's not watched live. Get your comments in below. Make sure you give us your thoughts on who's going to win it, and try and give us at least a sentence as to why. Maybe tell us who's going to win it and who you think is going to get the furthest in relation to the shocks. I think Peru quarterfinal would be quite a shock. Let's see. Thanks everyone for watching. Can't wait for the World Cup. Back on the United Stand at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Got lots of things planned for it, just in relation to myself. And obviously that's football for the World Cup watch-alongs. Loads coming. Very excited. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all soon.